Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun,
Okay, I saw on, I don't know if we talked about it on our podcast or I saw it from a clip of another podcast, but you talked about going back to your childhood. You guys had a ping pong table in the basement up against a wall in a peculiar way, and you were talking about how the positioning of that table forced either, I think, you and Ben to hit certain style of shot that translated into a shot you guys use in pickleball.
Yeah, so we had a ping pong table in our basement. I think it might have been on this podcast that we talked about it at one
Right.
point. But to reiterate again, we had the ping pong table in our basement where a bookcase was up against one side of the table on the far side. So basically a right-hander's backhand side. And traditionally in table tennis, the forehand is the more dominant shot. You're going to be more aggressive with it, and you would run around and move to your backhand side to hit forehands. But because the bookcase was there, it got in the way. And as the older brother, I would make Ben take the bad side. I would say, you're going to go over there on the bookcase side. And what he had to do to adjust was to hit more backhands. And not that it necessarily taught him the backhand technique, but it did force him to hit more backhands simply because he was obstructed by that bookcase. So we have a good picture of it. And actually, I think the picture of it, the bookcase is moved further away than it used to be. It actually used to be closer than that. But I think that had that bookcase not been there, it's quite possible that Ben would have played a more dominant forehand game and not developed the backhand roll that he now uses to great effect on the pickleball court. So that's why a lot of people really enjoy that story.
Interesting.
Clip that.
What do you think was more formative in your pickleball skill? Your time playing tennis or your time playing ping pong?
I think they both have distinct benefits. I don't think that I would be the player or Ben would be the player without both of those sports. I think that as of right now, if I could pick any two background sports to create the perfect player, I would have to choose tennis and table tennis and merge those two. Of course, we haven't seen other combinations, whether it be badminton, etc., but I think those together hold a lot of value. I would have to pick tennis as the more important one just because of the racket skills you develop. The overall stroke production of something like ground strokes and just general coordination, vision, moving with your partner, etc. You can't really substitute the skills that you gain from tennis. If you look at somebody like Jack Sock, the guy's an amazing athlete. He's got great racket skills from tennis. And clearly they translate well to a pickleball court or can translate well. I do think those are enhanced by other skills that you can acquire from table tennis. So something like the stroke production of rolls, very similar to table tennis. You have a paddle, and pickleball more similar to a table tennis paddle than a tennis racket. And something as simple as recognizing spin and knowing how it affects the ball on your paddle face. That came relatively natural to me and Ben because of the table tennis background. And we didn't even really think about it. Oh, if you receive slice, you're going to get more topspin. And here's the adjustment you should make. So people coming from tennis may or may not quite grasp that in the same way. And I do think that people are getting educated more in the pickleball sense where a tennis player comes in and they start to get to know that just by playing pickleball. But I do think that table tennis was very valuable as well.
Yeah, as it pertains to like the slice, I didn't know that coming from tennis really. Like
Yeah.
you do kind of get taught a little bit, hit up a little bit more on slices in tennis, but I never really knew the why, and it also didn't impact things a ton.
Yes.
But then now here with pickleball paddles, if somebody slices it to you, you basically can just kind of hit straight up.
Yeah.
Like you can really go after it as a result of it.
Yeah, and you've seen the slice returns almost disappear at this point where you just don't want to give them that much backspin with as much topspin as they can create on a roll drop or a drive. And before, if you look back 3-4 years ago, the slice return was probably the preferred return. I can remember when Ben would almost always slice his backhand. Matt Wright had a pretty heavy slice. Wes Gabrielson as a throwback. Those were all heavy slice returns that were hard to control because you didn't have the same sort of spin potential on the paddles. So you couldn't use the spin against them as much. But yeah, in tennis, you would hardly ever apply that concept. The only time I could really think of applying it on a tennis court would be if you're stepping into a topspin shot that's coming at you and cutting down on the ball for a drop shot. And you're getting the ball to spin back towards you a little bit more. That's the only time I could really think where it would really work to your benefit. Otherwise, the amount of spin you can get from the strings just overwhelms basically anything else.
So what do you think, what benefits are there of table tennis versus tennis? And I know you went into that a little bit, but I'm talking specifically. Tennis, you obviously have the ground strokes, the moving with the partners. Table tennis, you have the backhand roll shot.
Yeah.
Are there any other specific shots that you think table tennis is very helpful for?
Table tennis, I think the top few benefits would be, like I said, the rolls. So not just the backhand roll, but also the topspin roll and the orientation of the hand when it contacts the ball. So to keep the ball in on a table tennis table, you really need to close your paddle face more. It's almost completely closed on some shots in order to get the ball down enough to make the table. And if you account for the height of the table and the height of the net is actually the same exact height as a pickleball court.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
And then also, if you stand right at the end of a pickleball...
Hold on. You're saying proportionally?
Proportionally. So it's something called counter height, which is quite common across many things. But when you account for the height of the table, the height of the net, it's the same height in inches as a pickleball net off the ground. And get this, the same thing is true if you stand at the back of a ping pong table and you don't reach over the table. If you make contact right at that length, your distance to the net is almost identical if you're standing behind the kitchen line and reaching forward into the kitchen if you're relatively tall. So as long as your wingspan is pretty good, somebody like Ben is hitting his backhand roll from the exact same distance to the net as he would be on a ping pong table, give or take.
I mean, to just have that in your back pocket is like a throw-out fact.
Yes, it's something I've given some thought to, but clearly there are some very big similarities between pickleball and table tennis. I think that's the single biggest one. So the stroke production, because of all those facts, are going to be quite similar. And in table tennis, spin is, I'm not going to say it's everything, but it's so, so important. Like, if you can generate just a little bit more spin, that can be the difference maker. In pickleball, I view it a little bit differently. It's that spin is such a commodity in the sense that it's hard to generate it because of the equipment that you're playing with. Even the carbon fiber paddles that we play with now, trying to hit a smooth plastic ball with lots of spin is difficult. You can only get so much of it. So if somebody gives you an opportunity to create more, like a slice, you really want to take advantage of that, because now that means you can get just a few more RPMs on the ball, which is already hard enough to do, and somebody's just giving it to you. That's a massive advantage. So that would be the other thing that I already mentioned that I think table tennis really helped us understand is when a particular spin comes at you, and that applies to backspin, topspin, and side spin. If you think about the way the ball checks when it's delivered to you based on a particular angle, that's something that can also be used on a pickleball court. So if the ball's being hit to you from your left and then you hold the paddle flat, where's the ball going to rebound to? It's going to rebound more to your right. So just knowing the angles of the spin, the paddle, where you want to put the ball, it's all very similar. And when you have that familiarity, not to mention the great reflexes you need when you play table tennis, you can transfer that so easily to pickleball.
When you and Ben are hanging out, do you guys like talk about this stuff?
I wouldn't say that we talk about it on the regular, but certainly we bounce ideas off each other. I would say I'm probably more active about bringing it up in the first place, but Ben always likes to discuss it, whether it's a new shot or a new strategy or just experimenting. Ben was the one that was experimenting with different shots before I even started pickleball.
Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, you into pickleball at all? You into pickleball? No? Alright. I've got a nice little side hustle going here. I basically just show up at pickleball courts and I bring some products that they might need, and I slang pickleball products. With pickleball being such a hot sport right now, there's a lot of different products coming out and it's hard to keep up with. So I just basically bring the products directly to the customer right here. Hey, bro. Hey, you're looking thirsty out there. You need one of these ice shakers? You know, to be honest with you, though, all I'm really doing is I just subscribe to the pickleball box, and it comes straight to my door with all the hottest pickleball gear in here, and it's like $250 worth of stuff, and I get it for 99 bucks. Hey, Donna, I got that new Fila zip-up you were asking about right here. Yeah, that pickleball Fila zip up. Yeah. Yo, these pickleball junkies, man, once you give them a taste of that new product that they got coming out, they can't get enough of it. Hey, Tom, weren't you asking about some pickleball socks, man? I got some socks right here for you, brand new. Yo, did y'all need some sunblock? Was somebody asking about some sunblock? Hey, what's up, bro? You want to check out what all I got? Yeah, come check it out, man. Check it out. Wait. Cops, dude. Cops. Be cool. What's up, officer? Good day? Having a good day? Good. All right, check it out.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun, yeah.